Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles. And today, well, we're looking at something that's now quite old, has become very collectible, especially in this original release. We are looking at the 1993 release by Telemania from their series of novelty telephones. And this particular one we're looking at today is of the USS Enterprise NCC-1701. As it appeared in the original Star Trek television series. Now, the original Star Trek television series was an American space opera program, science fiction program that was created by Gene Roddenberry, and it follows the adventures of the USS Enterprise NCC-1701 and its crew. It's now referred to really as Star Trek the original series since the introduction of many other Star Trek series in the franchise. Now the show is set in the Milky Way galaxy circa 2266 to 2269, which is about 300 years in the future of when the series was actually filmed. Now the ship and crew are led by Captain James D. Kirk, as portrayed by William Shatner, and his first officer and science officer, Mr. Spock, as portrayed by the late great Leonard Nimoy, and his chief medical officer, Leonard Bones McCoy, who was played by the late great DeForest Kelley. Interesting, each episode starts with the introduction speech by William Shatner, which basically gives an outline of what the ship's mission is. So it starts off with Space, the Final Frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before. Now the series was fairly popular in its original run. It lasted for 3 seasons, with a total of 79 episodes produced, which includes the first pilot, which starred Jeffrey Hunter as Captain Christopher Pike. And then, despite the fact that it wasn't accepted, they did order a second pilot, which was pretty much unheard of at the time. And the second pilot was Where No Man Has Gone Before, and starred William Shatner as Captain Kirk, and the rest is history, really. So 3 seasons, 79 episodes in total. Each episode running for about 45 to 50 minutes. Interesting, season 1 had a budget of $190,000. Season 2 was $185,000, and season 3 was $175,000. Interesting that the budgets were shrinking per season. Maybe that's because all the sets and things were built in the first season. Not quite sure about that. Rising costs maybe, and production companies squeezing the budgets down, I'm assuming. But anyway, 3 seasons, and it aired originally from September the 8th, 1966 through to June the 3rd, 1969. However, it was sold in syndication to multiple different television channels, and the popularity just started to grow. It got very popular in the 70s, hence the decision by Paramount to produce the movies, and they went on to produce the 7 Star Trek movies featuring the original crew. Also, Star Trek the Animated Series was set up and produced from 1974, that run for a season. And then, of course, in 1987, production began on Star Trek The Next Generation, which saw the introduction of the all-new Enterprise and the crew set about 100 years in the future of the original series. Anyway, back to the point. This particular item we're looking at today is the Star Trek telephone, and it's a collector's edition version, and it was released by Telemania in 1993. And it is based on the original Star Trek. This is the box that it comes in. And the box says Star Trek the Telephone Collector's Edition, to boldly go where no man has gone before. You've got the Telemania logo on the left hand side. And at the bottom there you can see some images from the actual television show. So you've got Captain James T. Kirk in the left-hand corner. You've got Kirk and Dr. McCoy, Lieutenant Uhura, Scotty and Kirk, Nurse Chapel and Dr. McCoy, and Dr. McCoy on the right-hand side. Okay, that's the front of the box. Let's just turn the box around, or drop the box down to the side, and see what we got on the side here. Okay, so on the side here, it says, you can actually see an image of the actual telephone there, and the shape of it, and the stand underneath it with the buttons. It says features, each unit individually numbered, number certificate of historical data, exact replica of original USS Enterprise, red alert sounds and warp nacelles flash when phone rings, regular ringer option, pulse tone switchable, hearing aid compatible, FCC approved, Redial button, fully modular, and recommended for ages 8 and over. Okay, so that's the side. Let's turn the box to the end. Let's just turn it up the right way. And the end of the box shows you the phone in use. So the handset up, and the nacelles and the main body of the ship is still held on, is still a part of the phone on the stand there, and the saucer section and the fuselage really is the handset. And it says Star Trek, copyright 1993, Paramount Pictures, all rights reserved. Star Trek is a registered trademark of Paramount Pictures, Caution Gold Limited, authorised user. And their brand name obviously was Telemania. And you've got the barcode on the bottom there. They're pretty much the same on the other side. Each opposite end is the same on the box. So what we're going to do now, I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to open the box. We're going to take the telephone out. We're going to have a look at it. Now, I don't know whether I've got any space here to plug one into, but I'll see what I can do. Okay, so I've taken it out of the box. It comes all in this polystyrene pack, and I've just removed the top of the pack. It is all still sealed up on the inside there. So what I'm going to do this off camera. I'm going to take the bits out of the pack. I'm going to open it, and let's have a look at it. I'm going to assemble it on the table, and let's see if we can have a very, very good look at this phone. Okay, so I've removed the contents from the box and I've put it together. So we've got the phone there standing in the background there and the shape of the Enterprise, and it does look absolutely fantastic. Now we've got the cord here for the handset, which I'll plug that in a moment. We've also got the cord here, which connects to the phone and connects into your phone port. Now we're too far away from the phone ports I've got here to actually connect it into, so I'm not going to be able to show you that it's actually fully working because we can't reach a telephone port, unfortunately, which is a shame, because I would have liked to have shown you how it actually works and how it lights up and the ringtones and so on. I don't know whether we can actually make that happen. If there's a demo button on it, we'll have a look at that as well in a moment. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to connect up the cabling, and let's have a look. Oh, also, I don't think this came with it originally, but this has been put in, which is your connector for your phone. So the end piece slots in there, and then that will slot into your phone boxes. Okay, let's wire it all up and let's have a look. Okay, so I have now connected the wires up. So I connected the wire to the bottom of the handset there and connected it into the stand, and I also popped in the wire here, which would connect into your phone socket. So that's all done, but as I say, I'm too far away to our phone socket to actually plug it in, so I can't actually do that at the moment. But let's see what we've got, because I've opened the packet in here, and this is the information that it comes with it. Now it says Star Trek USS Enterprise, NCC-1701, certificate of registration and historical data, and obviously you've got the Paramount Pictures logo there. Now, if we open it up, it says the Starship Enterprise NCC-1701 is the most advanced and most respected ship in all of the Starfleet. This Constitution-class vessel was built on Earth in the San Francisco yards and launched in 2245. This massive ship is 289 metres long, 125 metres wide, 73 metres high, and weighs in at 190,000 tonnes. Captain James T. Kirk is the commander of the vessel, whose 22 decks hold 403 crew members. The defensive weaponry aboard are phaser banks and photon torpedoes, and they are the most advanced in the Federation. The USS Enterprise is on a 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before. And on the back there, you've got a certificate of registration. So it's Star Trek USS Enterprise. We hereby certify that this Star Trek USS Enterprise NCC-1701 telephone has been crafted from the original design and authorized by Paramount Pictures. The identification number below will be recorded at Starfleet Command and corresponds to the holographic marking on the actual item. And that's signed by Cash Cabindrum and Stan Reef, President and Vice President of Cash and Gold Limited, Telemania. And you've got the Telemania certificate telephone, collectible telephone there, and a number on this one, NCC-1701 0069380. Okay, so that is the historical data. Before we get to that, what is this? This is Cash and Gold Limited, sole distributors for the Telemania products, and that gives you the limited warranty. And then we've got Telemania phone, important, protect your Telemania phone in order to assure full customer service. Please complete and return this registration form within 14 days after purchase. May we share your opinion? I don't think that's going to apply anymore because, as I say, this is over 32 years old. Okay, so we've got the instruction manual here, and it says Star Trek telephone. And if we open it up, what does it say? Oh, there's a lot to read in here. Introductions. Congratulations on your purchase of the Star Trek telephone. The quality product is an electronic push-button telephone, which is a replica of the Starship USS Enterprise. Please read this operation manual before using your new telephone and keep it on hand for further references. Features: electronic push-button telephone, tone pulse switchable, last number Redial, normal ringer, Star Trek sound selectable, headlight flashes when phone rings, dial tone reset function, hearing aid compatible, fully modular, FCC approved and ETL approved. Important FCC and telephone company information. That's all about the equipment and so on, Cash and Gold and so on. Installation. The Star Trek telephone uses the new standard modular jack. To correct the phone, simply plug into your wall jack. Adapters which permit the Star Trek telephone to be used with the old 4-pin jacks are available from most telephone accessory stores. Well, we've got that anyway. If your home has neither a modulator jack or 4-prong wall socket, you may ask your telephone company to install a modulator jack and so on. Operating the telephone. Before opening the telephone, make certain it is properly installed. For operating the telephone, I should say, make sure it's properly installed. For detailed installation information, please refer to the installation section of the manual. There are 2 types of telephone systems in use. The most common is called tone dialing. The other is called pulse or rotary dialing. Contact your telephone company to find out which system is used in your area. Your Star Trek telephone will operate on either system. Simply set tone pulse mode switch to tone for tone dialing or pulse for pulse dialing. Your telephone is now ready to use and will operate like any standard telephone. Pulse dialing feature. Redial if you get a busy signal. Press the hook H key for at least 1 to 2 seconds to get the dial tone. Then press the redial R key and the number will be automatically redialed. The phone's memory will retain the last number called for redial. Long distance service, only respond tone dialing signals. Your phone is equipped with a pulse key to allow the use of long distance service even from pulse dialing areas. Use the following procedures. Dial your long distance service number to get a line. After long distance service acknowledgement signal, press the key. Switch the tone pulse switch to tone position. Dial the design number. If busy, repeat the same procedure. Be sure to switch back to pulse when done. So it's all about the old analog system, really. So if you've still got an analog line, It will work. I don't know if it will work on a digital line, to be perfectly honest with you, because it was 1993, long before the digital lines were available. But anyway, all your information you need to know is there. And on the back there, it shows you all the different parts of it. So you've got the telephone line cord, you've got the handset cord, you've got the hook switch, the telephone unit, telephone handset, the receiver, the microphone, the loudspeaker, that's the bottom details, tone pulse switch, and the ringer switch. Okay, so let's have a look at the phone, because it's, for me, it's more of a decoration piece than an actual item to use. I mean, I don't know many people that use house phones anymore. Most people just use mobile phones, but there we are. So anyway, that is the Enterprise. Now, it's a lovely size ship. Let's get some measurements here, because I want to show you the actual size of this, because it is big. So we're looking at 11 inches or 28 centimeters in length of the actual ship itself. Now, if we measure height-wise from the base to the top, we're looking at about 9 centimeters, which is just under 8 inches. And if we measure across the lower section of the stand there, we're at 7 inches, which is again at about 18 centimeters. So that gives you an idea of the size. Now, if we measure across the nacelles, in actual fact, to give you a size of that, we're looking at 5 inches across on the nacelle. So that gives you an idea of the size of the actual ship itself. So with all the designs and markings of the USS Enterprise, let's have a close-up look of the ship. And there you can see the deflector array there, the windows down the side, the shuttlecraft hangar bay at the back there. And let's go up there, you can see the nacelles and the saucer section, all again with the markings on. And down at the bottom on the stand there, obviously you've got all the buttons, and you've got the Star Trek sign on the side there. We lift the handle up, so that's what you'll be talking into. And there is your earpiece and your talking section there. And that's where your cable slots into. You just use your phone systems, just pop the cable in and it locks into place. You hear it click and it's into place. And there, of course, again, you've got the window markings around the sides at the bottom there. So really very, very cleverly designed, really is, and does look absolutely stunning. As I say, you don't even need to have these connected. If you just want to use it as a display item, which is what I would probably do, I'd never use it. I'd use it as a display piece, and I wouldn't even connect the cables. I'd take the cables off. In fact, let's take the cables out and look at it without the cables, because I think that's what I would do with it. Whether anyone else would, whether anyone would want to use it practically or not, I don't know. But for me, I would use it as a display item. So there we have it, and doesn't it look absolutely fantastic? So that's a side view, and there you can have it viewing from the front. Oh my word, that just looks incredible. Can you imagine that with a black background with stars behind it coming towards you? That would look absolutely phenomenal. It really is a lovely, lovely model. And I suppose, unless you knew, you wouldn't necessarily know it was a telephone. You would just think it's a model of the USS Enterprise, especially if you had it facing that way when no one could see the buttons. I mean, it's just absolutely awesome. Let's turn it around to the back there, and you've got the back view of the ship flying off as you would see it on the opening credits of the TV series. Absolutely fantastic. Detailing is amazing. It really, really does look the part, and the design and all the aspects of the original Enterprise are there. Absolutely fantastic model, I would say. And like I say, for me, it would be a display piece. It wouldn't be something that I would use. I wouldn't connect it to a port. Not the fact that we don't have any ports at home anymore. We only have the incoming port for the, well, we do, because we've got the alarm system, but other than that, we don't really use it as a telephone system, because we've all used mobiles in this day and age. But anyway, that is the USS Enterprise telephone. So how well did these do back in 1993? Well, yeah, I mean, they were very successful. I don't quite know how many were produced. They were originally done on a limited run, I don't know the numbers, but they were individually numbered. So this one was 6,800 and something. So I'm guessing there was maybe 10 to 100,000 pieces that were produced. I really don't know the exact quantities. But for all the numbers that would have been produced, I would expect to see more of these around these days, but we don't. So, but anyway, back to the point. Yeah, I'm sure they've done a very, very good job, and they marketed them. I don't remember seeing them being marketed very well. I mean, back in 1993, we had the shop, and we did have one of these phones, and we were actually using the phone back in those days because it was all analog lines, and we did sell quite a lot of these telephones to our customers, and that was simply because they come in and saw the phone on our desk and saw it being used. So and it attracted people to buy the telephone. So yes, we did sell quite a lot of them. I can't remember how many deliveries or how long we had them on the shelf for, but it was quite a popular item for a time. Okay, let's move forward now to 2025. So we're going forward 32 years. Do these come up for sale very often on the platforms? Well, these original ones from 1993, no. You occasionally see one come up, not as often as you would have thought. Now, there was back to the point, this item was actually re-released again back, I think it was either 2006 or 2008. It was in different packaging, and it was slightly different to this one, and I think it was slightly smaller as well. I don't think it was exactly the same size, but that later version, you do see those pop up quite a lot on the platforms. But this original one from 1993, very rarely does it come up now. Now, I'm guessing that's because most of them were sold to collectors. It was a collector's edition. And I'm guessing that most people that have bought these phones have got them on display, or people have had them as novelty items. Analog phones are gone, so they've been trashed. You know, I don't know, I'm surmising. But these original 93 ones don't come up for sale very often. However, if you do want one on the platform, you do see a lot of the 2006 or 2008 version come up on the platforms, which was basically the reissue some 10 or 15 years after this original one was released. Now, always remember though, if you're going to buy on a platform, be careful, because somebody's idea of very good condition could be somebody else's idea of acceptable condition. There is a big scope of differences there between people's opinions, so do be careful. Do read the description and have a good look at the images if you are going to buy on a platform. Don't forget also, some of the platforms use stock images and stock descriptions, so you could be looking at a mint one like this one, but you may, if there's no new ones available, and there's no new, it doesn't say new on the page, it only says used, it will automatically go to the cheapest used item, and that may not be what you want. So if it doesn't say new and it says used, click that used link and read what you're about to order to stop you being disappointed when the item arrives. And that wouldn't be the fault of the seller either, and it's not the fault of the buyer. It's just the silly way that the platforms work. So if you don't have new, it automatically sends you used, which is pathetic really. It should actually give you the option and say, no new available, would you like used? And then you can go through and select the used ones. That would be what I would have done in their situation, but they haven't. So a little bit silly if you ask me. But anyway, this particular model, now this was a shop, I believe it was a shop display model, where it spent quite some time in a shop display before it returned to the box and retired to the stockroom, where it stayed for about 30 years until we bought out the shop. Now this was a sci-fi shop that shut down a couple of 2 or 3 years ago, and we were fortunate enough to be able to buy out all their stock, and it was all the stock on the shop floor and some of the stock that was in the stock room. Well, the stock was in the stock room as well. There wasn't a great deal in the stock room there, but this was one of the items that was in there because they had it on display and they hadn't put it on the shelf afterwards. It just gone back in the box and gone back into the stock room and stayed there. So it is in mint condition. It is in unused condition. Just spent a period of time in a display cabinet. So yeah, probably as near to mint as what you will find one of these phones as. The box has had a little bit of a rough time where it's been sitting on a shelf. There is some shelfware along the edges of the box, and there is a slight tear where they've taped the box down after they've put the model back in, and they haven't used clear tape or anything like that. They've stuck a little bit of brown tape on it, and it's torn the paper of the box slightly. But other than that, the box that still displays nicely if you display it on the other side, and still looks great. So this particular model, now we only have the one of these, and as of today, it is available to purchase on the MySnatch website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Star Trek items. And many other vintage toys, games and collectibles come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I'm absolutely positive this is something that you're not going to want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new items which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there is something in particular you're looking for, something old you've never been able to find, something quirky that you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know, the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful vintage Star Trek telephone collector's edition with me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next video. So bye for now.